buy, but they never tell you to sell. They never tell you to sell. Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand. When you buy a stock, and if all you do is buy, and you never sell short to make money where they're going down, you have to be so good. That means you got to buy the companies that are always going up. Nobody's that good. Nobody could possibly be that good. You got to make money just like you make money when you buy a stock. You got to make money when a stock goes down. That's how you even the playing field. That's how professionals make money. They make money going up and make money going down, but they don't tell you that. They just want you to try to make money going up. They don't want you to make money going down because they make that money on you. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. Learn how to short stocks at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the Hot Stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. Any stocks now, you can't go there now because it's already up 40%. The next move, I think, is going to be in oil, but it's going to be in the refiners. The refiners have gotten hit 50, 60%. There's some great opportunities in refiners. We'll talk about that next and a lot more. Subscribe to Phil's Gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market. On 5/29, that's May 29th, I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right, and the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. Listen to what Fisher said, the former Fed governor.
We front-loaded at the Federal Reserve an enormous rally in order to accomplish a wealth effect.
That's right. Did you hear that? They took the stock market, front-loaded it, ran it 200%, so we ended up not only with a fake stock market, but fake GDP, fake money, fake jobs, fake prices, fake everything. But we took advantage of that, and we're going to take advantage again. That's why I told my gang in May to short the market. On 5/29, that's May 29th, I'm telling you to short the stock market. And we were right, and the market went down over 11%. That's why you got to join my gang and learn how to short stocks just as much as buying them. Learn how to short with me, Phil Grande at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. What is Phil's Gang? philsgang.com is a subscription website service that host Phil Grande has been teaching and providing daily stock investment recommendations for over 15 years, all in the name of making its customers educated investors and helping the kids at St. Jude's Children's Hospital. If you want to take charge of your financial future, then do not wait any longer. For only $49.95, become a Phil's Gang member today. Go to philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, it's been 7 years now since Obama ordered his Fed chairman to lower the savings rate from 5% to less than 0.25%. With the false narrative, it would spur economic growth and jobs. Everyone would have an opportunity in this economy. That's what he said. But what it spurred was a front-loading of the biggest fake, unsustainable stock market rally of 200%. That's what it spurred. Now, most people did not participate in that rally because people got out of their 401k in 2009 and they said, just get me out. I want nothing but fixed income. And they got killed because with low interest rates, fixed incomes get murdered. You got to know what you're doing. If you're going to really retire, you got to be associated with the stock market. That's why you come to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's being taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande, philsgang.com. Everybody was asking me, how did I know to short forward when it was November? And it was when Aunt B was telling us everything was fine. Well, what people didn't know is Aunt B was lying to us. Because when she was raising the rates, machinery sales were down 5.6%, computers were down 8.7%, communication equipment sales down 21%. I took a look at our chart and I saw that institutions were pulling money out of Ford. So we said, let's short Ford. And we did that in November, on November 10th, because my charts told me there was a big sell signal, and we took advantage of it. And you know that stock Ford has now dropped 17%. That's the return my gang has now, 17%. Don't follow any of the jibber-jabber from CNBC or the Fed. Follow me, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil. Stock Corner is brought to you by the Phil's Gang video channel. Go to philsgang.com, click on the video channel graphic, and check out Phil's free videos on the market, economy, and current events.
And welcome to our Stock Corner. Okay, let's take a look at some stocks today. Again, we were talking about joining the gang, be a subscriber. If you missed if you missed our gold mining stock, which is a 40% return, AU, please don't miss the opportunity with the refiners. No. What we're going to do is we're setting up in our program. You're already a member. You're part of the program. The Working Investor Program is called. It's real simple. You join a gang. You become a subscriber. Every day at 1:15, you have a personal coach that's going to guide you with the refiners. MPC is a wonderful refiner. It dropped by about 60%. And now we're starting to see money starting to come in. Our charting is telling us institutions are starting to buy a little bit of MPC. There's another one, MRO, another refiner, great refiner. Again, these refiners are all down between 40 and 60%, got hammered. We're now starting to see where little money is coming in to MRO. Exactly what we saw with AU, our mining stock. Exact same thing. Valero, same thing. So we're putting a program together. We already have what we call the Working Investor Program. But what we're going to do is expand it so that we're going to follow these refiner stocks every day. And we're already doing it. We started today. So if you want to subscribe, 877-600-GANG, that's 877-600-GANG. Subscribe now. Subscribe today so you can catch it. I sit here and say, well, we're up AU 40%. It doesn't do you much good when I tell you after it's up 40%. And I told you back then, in December, I was doing it. Well, do this. And the reason I want you to do it is not just to make the money, to prove to you there's an alternative to what you're doing. The 401k does not work. This is an alternative. And in that same program, if you want to participate with the spiders, 500 of the best companies in the world, all in one basket, trades like one stock, cost almost nothing. You don't get anything better than that. What's better than that? So you're going to have your personal coach every day at 1:15 saying, okay, here's when you buy the spiders. Here's when you add to your position. Here's when we take profits. We're going to adjust it. And same thing with the refiners. $49.95. What are you, nuts? God. You know, I listen to these guys saying everything's just fine. Really? If everything was just fine, then why is it under these two dopes, Bush then Obama, the median real household income has declined by a massive 14%, about $8,400. Are you nuts? And when they were telling us the economy was in a recovery. How could that be if we're in a recovery? Because there was never any recovery. They're driving the stock market up 200% to make you think there was one. There was no recovery. There was fraud, but no recovery. And even worse, Obama was pretending to be the defender of the middle class. When he's screwing you out of your 14%, he puts you into a part-time job because of Obamacare, and he increases your premiums by $2,500. And then you're sitting in a 401k mutual fund thinking you're going to create money to retire. What are you, nuts? What he did is he created a reverse wealth distribution. He did, and Bush, both of them. Both of them. Bush and Obama. The middle class, they just screwed. They designed a program to benefit their rich cronies at the expense of the middle class. But they tell you they're the defenders of the middle class. It's like a guy who always says to you, oh, you can trust me. Oh, you can trust me. Or a guy says, I'm your friend. Oh, you can trust me, I'm your friend. That's the guy you don't trust, and you know he's not your friend. Or the person that goes to church, you know, they always want to be seen up in front of the church. Always want to be seen up there in front. They get in church first. Oh, look how holy he is. You know how holy he is. And he owns a business in town. Let's say he owns a meat market. And you know that's the guy that owns the meat market, that when he puts the meat on the scale, you know he tipped the scale, so he's always cheating you. Because people say, oh, I'm your friend, I'm your buddy. Same thing with Obama. Reverse wealth distribution. That's what's going on, and nobody figures it out. Reverse wealth distribution. How did they reverse it? They took money from the middle class and gave it up to the 5 percentile, the richest people in the country, to control 85% of the wealth. How'd they do it? Through quantitative easing. Through taxes. Income disparity. Entitlements. QE was an enormous amount of money printing. The Fed printed money. They bought the 10-year treasuries, the Fed, so the yields would drop, so they would be unattractive, so investors would shift out of bonds into stocks, so stocks would keep going up, even though the companies weren't making any profits. They printed so much money for quantitative easing, trillions of dollars. What does that do? That hurts the dollar. The value of the dollar goes down. So now, with the dollar going down, you have to have more units of paper to buy that same bottle of milk that you bought the week before. Why the rich are getting richer. So that's how they redistribute. One way, there's a redistribution of wealth from the middle class up to the rich, up to the wealthy. Unbelievable. Same thing, printed money to give to hedge funds so they could speculate in the stock market. So consumers could not maintain the same standard of living. You know what they did? They went out and used their credit cards as a backstop. And then they ended up borrowing more money. They owed more money. Are you kidding? Be right back after this break. Remember, my working investors, join now.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
They just told us right away that we're going to house you, we're going to feed you, and every single one of his medical bills is just all taken care of.
saber que el tratamiento es completamente gratis nos quita una preocupación de encima.
We have phenomenal research, outstanding clinical care, and the generosity of public, which allow us to treat patients regardless of what it takes. And that's what makes St. Jude so magical.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, families never receive a bill for treatment, travel, housing, or food, because the only thing a family should worry about is helping their child live.
Doctors send us the toughest cases to be treated at St. Jude, and our patients come from all over the world.
When we come here, they told me, don't worry, everything's been taken care of.
We could never repay St. Jude for what they've given us.
Because of you.
Gracias a ti.
Because of you.
There is St. Jude.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. The dot-com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous bubbles, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit. But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. We're hitting a new year, and you should, at the same time, come in with a new attitude, a new philosophy that you're going to make money when the stock market goes down. That's right. This is the third bubble, and you don't think it's going to crash? The first bubble did. The dot-com, the second bubble, the housing and financial con. Why do you think the third bubble, which is twice as big as the two previous bubbles, is any different? It's not different. Matter of fact, it's worse. It's going to go down faster. The stock market is going to go down 50%. You're going to lose 50% of the money you have in the stock market. You're going to lose 45% of the equity you have in your home. You're going to lose 30% of the money you have in your savings. Yes, you are. Trust me. Join my gang, Phil's gang, so that we can show you how to benefit, how to profit. But you can't just sit there and own a stock. You got to learn how to short the market. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm here to help you. I'm tired, and you should be tired, of listening to these financial shows like CNBC where they're all geniuses and they're always wrong. Look, stop worrying about the price to book and the price to sales and all the stuff they tell you you think you need to know. You don't need to know any of that. Anybody can make money in the stock market using charts. It's about money flow. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I'm going to tell you something about your 401k that you don't know. You know the 401k is a tax code? That's what it is. Here's how it worked. In the 80s, you had pension funds, but they decided to give their CEOs a benefit on top of the pension. It was called 401k. That was to shelter their income. That way they could keep the CEOs because it was very competitive. But when all the jobs were shipped overseas, they no longer could keep pension funds. Too expensive. So they shifted all their employees to a 401k, duping you thinking it was a good deal. But what they did is they charged hidden fees, which amount to about $250 billion a day, that they gave to lobbyists to go to Washington to make sure that this 401k would never be transparent. Here's what came of it.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
That's right. So join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know, many people left the stock market after the crash, and here's why.
Responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
And that's still going on. That's your planner. They don't represent you. They represent themselves, your money manager. But you have to make a change. You can't change them. You make the change. Join my gang, philsgang.com, so that we can take care of you. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Anybody who puts money in my pocket is my friend. And Phil Grande can do the same for you. Learn how to grow and invest your money. Here's Phil Grande.
We have good reason to believe that there's a bombshell in Donald Trump's taxes.
What do you mean?
Well, I think there's something there. Either he's not anywhere near as wealthy as he says he is, or he hasn't been paying the kind of taxes we would expect him to pay, or perhaps he hasn't been giving money to the vets or to the disabled like he's been telling us he's been doing.
And if that's true, it's not going to matter. It's not going to matter. People want something different. They want someone different. Boy, take Romney. He's a loser. Now he's upset. He's upset because he didn't run again. So he's saying, well, look at this reason why he hasn't given out his tax. There's a bomb there. Like Trump said, he could shoot somebody in New York and nobody will care. Because this country is so bad, so screwed up, people are looking for anything. They don't care what his tax return looks like. When are these elitists going to understand that? All these programs on TV at night. Well, we're going to get him now because we're going to talk about his defunct mortgage program. Nobody cares about his mortgage program. You know what people care about? The redistribution of wealth from the middle class up to the wealthy. They're angry. They're angry about Obama redistributing wealth from the middle class up to the top 5% through quantitative easing by printing, then infusing $3 trillion directly into the stock market to benefit the 5% who control 85% of the stock market. They're mad. Then they bailed out the banks. They're mad. They bailed out the banks, but then bail out Main Street. They're mad. Bailed out the banks by printing $7 trillion. Then he turns around Obama, prints more money, and provides $4.4 trillion at zero interest to drive up fake earnings of companies. To drive their fake earnings up because companies are doing so bad because the middle class people have lost their income. Their income has declined a massive 14%. So people aren't buying like they used to. So earnings aren't there. So the stock doesn't go up. So they create a trick. Print $7 trillion. Give it to the corporations, zero interest. They buy their shares, push the stock price up. They're mad. People are mad. I don't care what Trump's statement looks like. They're mad because when much of the corporate profits, the CEOs, came through cutting people's wages. That's where corporate profits came from, cutting people's wages. So the CEO could get paid a whole bunch of money. Increase his wealth. Example, the 3% of the population incomes to CEOs, management, went from 33% and increased up to 64%. 33 to 64%. While the bottom 90% of the folks, their income fell from 32% down to 22%. People are angry. Do you think they care about Trump's statements? You think they care about Sanders being a communist? No, they're just looking for something different. They know we've been screwed. If you're working for Halliburton and you just lost your job today, you don't care about Trump's financials or what the big bomb is. You don't care. The 95 million people in this country are angry. They have no jobs. And what really makes them angry, they don't even include them in the 4.9% of the unemployment. That makes them angry because the politicians come out and say, 4.9% when it's 23%. That makes them angry because nobody's admitting what the real unemployment rate is, so they're not paying attention to them. They're hiding it. They're angry. It used to be under Bush, 1 out of every 8 children in America was on food stamps. Now it's 1 out of 5. Under Bush and Obama administration, the number of households, 1.5 million, live on less than $2 a day. They're classified as ultra poor. It's doubled. The amount of people have doubled under these two dopes. The number of homeless children under both Bush and Obama administrations increased by 60%. 1.6 million American children slept in homeless shelter last year. 1.6 million American children slept in a homeless shelter last year. This is America? More than half of all students in our public schools are poor enough to qualify for school lunch subsidies. Are you kidding? And what do we hear from these elitists on Wall Street?
I think that the consumer is just fine.
Just fine, doing just fine. 45% of those 25 years of age are living with their parents. They have student loans that are burying them. They can't buy a car, they can't buy a house, and they can't get a full-time job. This is why Trump and Sanders is so popular. And this is why I want you to join. I want you to subscribe to my gang. Because I can help you. If you were with me in May of last year, and then I confirmed it in July of last year, when I said to you the market was going to have a correction, subscribe to my gang membership, and I'm going to have you short the spiders. And they went down 14%. Now I'm saying to you, why don't you subscribe now? The same spiders. So if they keep on going to rally, somehow fake a rally and try to push this market back up 10%, oh, they can do it. Believe me, they can do it. They'll come up with some story. Right now, they got the oil story. If oil goes up, the stock market goes up. How about, as I said, the refiners? They're going to be just like the oil. Subscribe. So every day at 1:15, the Working Investor Program will guide you. You have your personal coach. You don't even have to think about it. Don't you have to think, if you're working and busy, just take 2 minutes, go in and see what was said that day about the spiders or about the refiners. Then you know whether to add more stock or take some stock off or take profits or get out or what. You don't have to even think about it. You got to do something. So they're all worried about Trump. They better be worried about Trump. See, Trump understands how to create jobs. It's construction. That's in his blood. He understands what infrastructure is. Bush and that other dope, Obama, they didn't know what infrastructure did for this country. Infrastructure investment is at a 30-year low with those two dopes. We have a serious infrastructure problem. We need $3.4 trillion. We need another $1.7 trillion for roads, bridges. We need $763 billion for electricity and power grids. We need to invest $391 billion for schools, $134 billion for airports, $131 billion for waterways and those kind of projects. But under both the Republicans and the Democrats, those crooks, investment in infrastructure has dropped by more than half. At the same time, the states have spent a pathetic 3%. See, we need somebody to reverse that decline, whether it's Trump or somebody else. But Trump's the guy because why? Because he doesn't owe anything to anybody. Nobody's donating him. The lobbyists aren't donating to him. He can do what he wants. He will reverse the decline in investment in transportation, public buildings, and all these other infrastructure. He's got to reverse it because that's where we create jobs. And by the way, that's how we draw companies to come to this country. It's unbelievable how stupid our people are. Join my gang. Subscribe right now. Follow our refiners and the S&P 500, please.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You ever notice they always tell you to buy, but they never tell you to sell? They never tell you to sell. Well, I'm going to help you. I'm going to help you understand. When you buy a stock, and if all you do is buy and you never sell short to make money where they're going down, you have to be so good. That means you got to buy the companies that are always going up. Nobody's that good. Nobody could possibly be that good. You got to make money just like you make money when you buy a stock. You got to make money when a stock goes down. That's how you even the playing field. That's how professionals make money. They make money going up and make money going down, but they don't tell you that. They just want you to try to make money going up. They don't want you to make money going down because they make that money on you. Join my gang, Phil's Gang. Learn how to short stocks at philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. You know, everybody, the hot stocks Apple or Google, whatever it is, it doesn't matter. What people don't understand is every stock is the same. If the institutions buy it, it goes up. If they don't, it goes down. It doesn't matter the name. That's why we use charts to identify money in, money out. Join my gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Hi, my name is Phil Grande at philsgang.com. You know we're going to have not only a stock market crash in 2016, but a housing crash in 2016. Don't you like how they tell us the housing's in recovery and the market's in recovery and the economy's in recovery? When it's not. It's in a bubble. Take housing. They loan to a Wall Street firm called Blackstone. $7 billion. They buy 41,000 houses to go rent. Are you nuts? When they can't collect the rents anymore, those houses are going on the market and going to depress the real estate business by 30 or 40%. It's the same thing with stocks. They loan people money 600% more than they ever did before to buy stocks. That's all debt. And when the market goes down, they're going to have to dump those stocks to pay back that debt. And boy, will the market drop. Join my gang. Learn how to short. philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
Be sure to watch the Phil's Gang Show with Phil Grande, weekdays at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on various devices like smartphones, tablets, your computer, and more. Get free access to the Phil's Gang Show right in your hands at home or on the go. Simply go to philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com and click on the Listen Live link. And we'll see you on the charts.
We're on our best 2-year job creation streak in 20 years.
What are you, nuts? Who'd believe that? Let me tell you the truth. First of all, the 292,000 jobs we got in December 2015, and they told us the unemployment rate is 5%. Not true. You can't trust these people on Wall Street. You can't trust the press. What they don't count is, in December, for example, the 615,000 discouraged workers. A discouraged worker is a person unemployed, gave up looking for work, but this administration does not count them as unemployed when calculating a 5% unemployment rate. Instead, they classify the discouraged as marginally attached to the labor force, but they're not considered part of the labor force or part of the unemployment. That's why you can't trust what they tell you. If we back into 625,000, the real unemployment rate is 12%, not 5%. That's why you got to join my gang, where you get the truth and where we use charts. Join the gang, philsgang.com.
Go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264. Welcome back to Phil's Gang Radio Show. For more information, simply go to philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. Subscribe to Phil's Gang. It's only $49.95. Let's get started today. We just started. Invest in the refiners every day at 1:15 Eastern Time. Go to your site, or you can go to site anytime because it's archived. And it'll hold your hand to exactly what to do. Do we put more money in? Do we buy more shares? Less shares? What do we do? You don't even have to think about it. That's with the refiners. You missed our gold, AU. I don't want you to miss this. And the more beautiful thing, or equally as beautiful, is you can buy the S&P 500, the top 500 companies in a basket. and they trade as one company. Fees are almost nothing. Try it. It's an alternative to what you're doing. At least try it. And then at the end of a month, you're going to say, God, I wish I did this long ago. Check it out. Subscribe. You can call right now, 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-GANG. Denise is there. I'll answer your call and visit with you, and so won't Steve. But do it now because we just started the program. We don't want to go up 10, 15%, then join. Okay? So, here's what gets me. Whether it's Trump or Rubio. See, here's the problem. I like Rubio a lot. Matter of fact, I'd like to see a Trump-Rubio ticket. But here's the problem. Rubio has raised $83 million so far for the primary. Trump has raised nothing. So let me ask you, who's going to get the job done without special interest getting involved? Who? Trump, not Rubio. He's going to have to answer to the people that gave him the money. Whether he does, let's say he's ready to restore bridges. But the people who gave him money, they want to see something else. They want to see, instead of bridges being, they want to do something with pharmaceutical companies or something. Who knows? He can't do the roads then and the bridges because he has a special interest group that saying, I give you $83 million. I want you to do this for me. Now listen to this. This was in 2010.
The president has been committed from the day he took office to investing more in our infrastructure.
Oh, really? 2010? Are you kidding? He cut the investment in infrastructure by half. By half. What a bunch of liars. Here, 2010. Listen to this.
We've got roads and bridges across this country that need rebuilding. We've got private companies with the equipment and the manpower to do the building. We've got more than 1 million unemployed construction workers ready to get dirty right now.
Yeah, right now. Ready to get dirty right now. Well, guess what happened? Nothing. Nothing happened. He cut the budget by half. The states, too. Isn't that amazing how they just sit there and lie? Then listen to this. Geithner. Remember Geithner, that crook?
The Recovery Act had a substantial package of investments. A lot of that is still in the pipeline, but this is a long-term need.
Yeah, long-term need. That's since 2010. This is 6 years ago. They still haven't done anything. Because we need jobs. When you build infrastructure, you are building jobs. You are building a country. Infrastructure. Why do you think every time a company from Germany or France comes over here, they look at the United States, and where do they go? Canada. They go up the road to Canada, not here. Because they look at the road from where the plant they would build to the airport. They figured the potholes are so big, they have to replace their trucks every year. Axles are broken, the tires would be slashed, the potholes are so deep. They're afraid to run over the bridges. I mean, they feel a little uncomfortable giving the driver a parachute. When he leaves the warehouse, he's got to drive over the bridge to get to the airport. A little uncomfortable. This is nuts. But this all has to do with the stock market. I'm telling you. Make sure, again, that if you're going to participate with us, that you focus on these refiners. I can't say that enough. But don't you do anything on your own. You wait till the coach says to you, okay, we're buying Valero today, or we're buying MPC today. We're going to buy 50 shares, or we're going to buy 100 shares, or now we're going to take some off. Please, that's all you can do. As long as you follow the coach, you will do well. You will do well. So please subscribe. You know, what's amazing is that we talk about the infrastructure, talk about all this. Our roads are crumbling. Our schools are obsolete. Our factories are outdated. This jeopardizes attracting foreign companies to relocate here. Not to mention the public health factor. I think it's time our politicians start waking up and go look at Rome, read a book, because we're going down the same slope that Rome did to destruction, just like Rome. It's amazing. I think Trump is the only one that could stop it from happening because he's self-funded. He's not owned by the lobbyists. See, our politicians, our leaders seem to forget the principles on which this nation was founded as a republic. We were founded as a republic, limited in law. So to leave people alone, when you limit government, when the government limits the law, stay out of people's lives, they produce. See, they produce because they have an understanding they can keep the fruits of their labor. And production equals what? Standard of living. Our standard of living is collapsing because we're not producing, because we're not giving people incentive to go out and make rain. We're going to tax them to death. We're going to regulate them to death, just like they did in Rome. That's why our founding fathers gave us the rule of law as a republic, instead of the rule of majority as in a democracy. Real liberty has never been found in democracy. Remember that. When government power grows through regulations, we've never seen so many regulations between Bush and Obama. The people's freedom contracts, it recedes. Same thing happened in Rome. Like in Rome, here in the U.S., people have dropped their guard. And our politicians, like in Rome, are taking advantage of that. And they're exceeding their power, which is granted to them under the Constitution. Look at Obama with his pen and phone. Did you know in Rome, just like today here in the U.S., there was agricultural subsidies in Rome, followed by housing and welfare programs? Imagine that in Rome, just like here. And we have to support subsidies like they did in Rome. They raised taxes in Rome, put more regulations in on the rainmakers, just like we're doing here. And soon in Rome, the producers, the rainmakers, because of the raise of taxes and regulations, they lost the incentive to produce. So the standard of living dropped. The high taxes were so high and so many regulations, producers no longer produced. They decided to go on welfare. And that's where we're headed. We're taking the incentive out of the producers. Once you do that, the standard of living drops. Our standard of living is attached to productivity, not oil. This thing with the oil is driving me nuts. How they're lying to us. Oil is tied to the stock market. That's so bogus, it's incredible. That's all about productivity. We got to get back to being productive. We got to be able to take and give people an incentive to start savings, to take that savings and put it into investment. From that investment, we grow jobs. Consumers, they're screwed right now. 72% of the consumers in this country are going from paycheck to paycheck. All they're consuming is a headache. That's all they're consuming every week. Join my gang so at least we can help you create some wealth. Please. philsgang.com. Call now 877-600-GANG. Subscribe. Start working with us with the refiners and the S&P 500 buyers. See you on the charts.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.